Hello, TikTok and YouTube. Good morning. All right, we're going to switch gears now a little bit. We're going to go back to Wendi Adelson, okay? Go into that a little bit more. I gave you all the background story, but I've yet to show you evidence of why that was indeed a sacrifice. Dan Markel, her husband, ex-husband, was a sacrifice. A Luciferian sacrifice that got her a really great career advancement, and she got a lot out of it. And that will be in a video and up in and of itself, okay? Today, I just want to give you one little bit today that goes to it was a sacrifice, okay? Now, before this video came to me, it showed you a picture of Wendi Adelson standing there in all her glory, okay? That is the day of her police interview, okay? / interrogation. That was the day that Dan Markel died, and this was just a few hours later, okay? You notice what she's wearing. She's got that owl shirt on. I want to point this out and then we'll talk about it. She has that owl shirt on. She has some jean shorts on like that. And it is July in Florida, so it's hot out. But I want you to notice that Wendi has her hair pulled up and she has not a stitch of makeup on. None. Okay? And that's important. All right? That's important. All right? So that's the picture of her standing there. Okay? That is her in the police witness room when she got there. They're going to take a picture of you, and they also would have taken pictures of her hands and all this to look for any kind of defensive wounds or whatever, because she is the number one suspect, because they were already in divorce, but they were still having custody problems. They were being real petty and shitty with one another with these children. All right, and it was contentious, and everyone knew it, man. So of course she knew she was the number one suspect. Remember, she's a very smart attorney, and she's very, very smart. All right. So, but that's where there are pictures. I just want to make that clear. That is in the interview room before they started questioning her, or at some point during the questioning, they took the pictures of her, okay? That's where that is, all right? Now, you're also going to have, if this goes on TikTok, this video will be linked in the bio. That's the only way I know how to do it. If it's on YouTube, of course, it will be linked in the description below. And what this is a video of Luis Rivera on in the mistrial, the retrial of Katie Magbanua. Okay, I've discussed in previous videos who Katie Magbanua is. She was the link, the go-between. She was Charlie's girlfriend, Wendy's brother, but she also had 2 children with Sigfrido Garcia, who was the man that actually ended up being the hitman that actually shot and killed him. All right? Luis Rivera was... I'm trying to turn this other device off. It's making me crazy. Luis Rivera was the getaway driver. All right? This is a video of Luis Rivera. What the fuck, man? This is a video of Luis Rivera at Katie's mistrial. And if you go to the like 3650 mark, somewhere right around there, or go to, if you have to go before that a little bit, I forget, I'm sorry, I'll check it again. But it's going to show you where the state's asking Rivera, did you put a picture up on IG? Yes, I did. What was it a picture of? An owl. Okay? And then what happened? It was Sigfrido Garcia said to him, take that shit down, man. What is wrong with you? Take that down. So he took it down. And the state pointed out to him when she was saying, you guys made some mistakes along the way, didn't you? Posting that owl one was significant, guys. Because when this video ends, before it came to me, you saw the picture of Wendi in her owl shirt there in all her glory. Comes to me, and then after me, it's going to slide into just a screenshot from a Google search, AI search, that's going to show you that in the occult, since ancient times, when you flash a sign of an owl, that signifies and tells you that the sacrifice or the hit or the assassination has been complete. That is what that signifies. That is why Wendy's wearing that owl shirt, to show, because she knew this picture, and this picture was made public. That's showing the brotherhood, although that I completed it. I completed my end. The sacrifice is complete. Now I get what I got coming. Okay? That is why she's wearing this shirt. That is why Luis Rivera posted that. Period. And you can hear him say it in the testimony. Okay? And then you're going to see that that is what that means. Guys, remember that these sick Luciferians, they always pervert or do the opposite of something that is godly or holy or what have you, right? So is above, so is below. Lucifer can't stand that everyone worships God and won't worship him. That's why he came here, to get people to worship him on earth. And he does everything, tries to copy God, because he can't do anything on his own. All right? So we know that owls, I got owls all over the place. We collect them. Owls, when it's righteous, brings wisdom and hope and things like that. Okay? In the occult, it's an ominous sign, meaning what I told you. That the sacrifice is complete. Okay? Now let's talk about Wendi again, standing there like that. Yes, I know it's July in Florida and it's hot out, but, well, you know what? First, let me talk about this. Of course, we got all kinds of people there that are interviewing and talking to people in the legal community there in Florida. I actually know Wendy's, the divorce attorney she used, this woman. I actually know her. All right? My father-in-law, not this one, my ex-father-in-law, that was the divorce attorney that went against him and took his ass to the cleaners. She's very well known, and I know her personally, right? So, but anyway, that legal community there, they're doing a lot of interviews and stuff. Wendi, the last one to be convicted was her mother, Donna. All right, they've convicted everyone except Wendi and Harvey, the two Luciferians, and they got plenty of evidence for probable cause to arrest and hold her. Plenty. And in Florida, from what I understand, they don't have preliminary hearings system like they do in California and some other states. They have the grand jury system, but you can also just take the probable cause narrative from the police to a judge and they can order a warrant. They can do it both ways there. All right? But there's not a deal where you have to present evidence then to hold over to trial like California has to do. You have to present a mini case. Of course, the defense doesn't get to do anything to counter it. It's just the state presents what they have, but it's only probable cause, not reasonable doubt, before they'll even move a trial over, before they'll even move a case over to trial. You understand? That's a preliminary hearing system. They don't have that in Florida, from what I understand. They do the grand jury indictments, which is usually the best way in a case like this, because if you lose it, then you can fall back on, hey, look, man, the grand jury indicted the bitch, so, you know, I did what I took it to trial. But there is a reason they have not arrested her. Now, I understand them not doing Harvey. He's her 80-some-year-old father. First of all, he's about to croak any time. He's 80-something, right? And he's pretty far removed from it anyway. So, but sure, they may not be able to convict her at a jury, but they got plenty to hold her over, and she would be held without bond. And guys, normally in situations like this, when the state knows that they're the ones responsible for the whole thing, even if they know they can't get a conviction, maybe they'll still go for it, because they'll at least make them sit in jail for 3 or 4 years or whatever it is to get to trial. Okay, that's how they do it, man. And I'm telling you, they got enough to hold this bitch over for sure. They're not arresting her. The last one to go down was Donna in October. In October, she got sentenced and sent to prison, and they haven't arrested her. So they're not going to. Because she cut a deal. She's above the law. Just like Gypsy. Just like that's how it goes. That's how this world works. All right? Before her, they tried them one at a time. And the minute one was done, they arrested the next one. I'm telling you. When Catherine McManaw's retrial was done and they got a conviction, a week later they arrested Charlie. When Charlie's got done, a week later they arrested his mother at the fucking airport. She was trying to take off to Vietnam or somewhere to get the hell out of Dodge where they don't have an extradition treaty with the United States, and she got nailed at the fucking airport on the way out. All right, so Wendi should have went next. Nope, and we know why. Well, let's talk about Wendi's appearance. Okay, number one, all the people we've talked to, they said she doesn't go out. Here's what the deal is, guys. She set up some stupid alibi at her home about it had a TV repairman there, and everything, so they couldn't say it was her. And then she went to lunch with her friends, these like 3 or 4 women. Wendi is too good to hang out with regular people. She only hangs out with attorneys and professors and doctors, and so all her women friends are all very professional women, okay? We have been told Wendi would never, ever go out looking like that. In jean shorts like that and that little Raggedy Owl shirt. No way. She wears short little cute dresses, they said, all the time to show off her long legs. All the time. And she'd have makeup on. They said at least, I mean, she's a pretty woman. She doesn't need a lot of makeup. They said she has at least eyeliner and mascara on for sure, and lip gloss every time. This is what they're telling us. And my argument is, it's very important that she has not a stitch of makeup on. Because she knew she was going to have to fake cry, and she knew there'd be no tears, and that's why. She's very smart. All right? She doesn't dress like that. She doesn't do that. She wanted to come in here and look like the poor little, oh, frantic and cry and pretend like she's so upset the father of her children have been slaughtered at her fucking behest. And she knew that they would have to come and get her. She knew they would come and find her because her children, not only is she the #1 suspect, and she knew that, her children are his next of kin. And the next of kin got to be identified. Now they don't go to the children, but they're going to notify the guardian of the next of kin. If nothing else, they got to do that. They have to do that. And those children are the next of kin, even though they were little boys. They're the next of kin. All right, and she knew that. So imagine this. I want to leave you with this. Imagine waking up in the morning and you got your fucking owl shirt laid out. Not unlike your mother used to lay your clothes out the night before for fucking school. Knowing that she's going to put it on and go to the fucking police station and try to put on the best performance of her whole life because the father of her children is going to be slaughtered and shot in the face twice across town so she can have an advancement in her career and be rid of him too. Imagine waking up and putting that shirt on, knowing that because of you, the father of your fucking 3- and 4-year-old boys is going to be killed. And he's an excellent father. Everyone's reported nothing but what an excellent father he was. This bitch even said so on the stand herself. All right. So my people said, we're gonna show you all this stuff we have on Wendi, and then you should be convinced that this is a Luciferian deal. This is what this is. Karma's telling us the fucking truth, and then maybe it will get through to some of you that don't believe it. That Gypsy did the same thing, but different. All right? Our group only does sacrifice and ritual killings. That's all we're interested in. I wouldn't talk about Gypsy at all if that were not the truth. All right? So, please. All right? Please go watch that video. Get to like the 30s. I'll check it again, I guess. Okay? I'll check it and I'll type it in the thing. All right? And I'll see you guys in the next video.